There you go, the driver. So we're to do something a little different today. Still in the loading screen here. So we're going to try out this driving academy. I've never messed with it. I've watched a few videos on it, mostly the SES stuff. But I wanted to check it out for to bring you guys along with me. We'll see how good or bad I am and see what this is all about. So I don't know what this does when I go in here, so that's why we started there. Let's see here. Their disclaimer here. Academy is not intended to replace camp training. I recommend you seek out instruction from accredited truck training institute. Da da da. Let's see. Okay, so I'm sure y'all have seen that. If not, back up and pause it. That's just their disclaimer. That they're not a training institute, more or less. Keep them out of trouble and all that fun stuff. So let's see. They got a coming soon tab over here. And then we got, looks like two different ones to pick from. I don't know when they did all this stuff. So let's see. Learn the basics of truck driving from basic function controls to maneuvering with a trailer. All right. And let's see. Honing your skills, new scenarios, more challenging conditions. I think this is the newer stuff they just released. So we'll start over here and we'll give this a whirl. If I continue these videos on this, then we'll start probably in this screen or something like that. So I got a choice of trucks. Nice. Let's see. Peterbilt, which is what I normally run. Let's see what they got in Freightliners. I'm just not a fan of these trucks. It's just me personally. I like the old school stuff. So from here out, we won't be probably going through all these options. We'll just get what I'm used to, kind of used to. I double clicked it to continue, in case you're wondering. So they want me to. Okay. A little cutscene for this, so we'll just kind of watch. See a typo there. The word maneuvers, if you go back and look. I'm not going to nitpick this. I'm just going to see what this is all about. Which should let me use one of my modded trucks. That'd be nice. Alright, so I guess that was our little cutscene here. Let's see. So we'll probably start on this page from here out. It looks like I can change the truck if I need to, which is good. We replay that intro. We're not going to do that. It looks like we got 2 chapters, 3 final chapters. We got to do all this before they'll let us do these two, which is fine. So we'll start at the top, and we'll see before you drive. Start that scenario. So let's see what they're going to have us do here. Welcome to your first lesson. Start by learning how to prepare the truck to hit the road. And you hit number pad or whichever enter, I guess. With this, your driving is safe, professional, under control at all times. Proper adjustment seat, wheel, and mirrors will help you accomplish this. All right, so this looks like it's going to be like cabin controls type thing. On each side of the truck, there are some vehicles. They will help guide you to adjust your mirrors properly. I have my way that I like my mirrors, and that's going to be everybody. So I don't know how they're going to do this. Do your time adjust everything as you're liking on the settings. significant impact on your ability to control the truck. When getting the truck's first time, it's important to first adjust the seat, wheel, and mirrors to your liking. The correct position behind the steering wheel is crucial for proper visibility. All controls must be within reach, and the driver needs to have a clear view ahead, to the sides, and in the mirrors. To display the configuration menu, press F4. Okay, I know how to do all that. I do this pretty much every time I get a truck or build a new ride. So, adjust the seats. For me, I like to move the seat back just to where I can see the mirror here on my left side. This is my preference because I usually have a mirror up here in the top corner. Makes life easier. Now, if you've seen any of the stuff with the hot shots, no matter what I do, I can't get the seat far enough back that looks correct because it will actually move you through the seat, so that doesn't work. So, and then usually while I'm here, if the seat doesn't go far enough back, what I will do is I'll change my field of view to something like, say, there. That way I get a full view of that mirror, maybe about there. But right there. I mean, it's pretty close. I don't worry about tilting, panning, rotating. You can do that. Now, steering wheel telescope, I usually run the steering wheel to what looks right and comfortable to me, and then I usually will tilt it a little bit. More or less what I'm looking for is being able to read the majority of my gauges. Obviously, there's a few that's going to be blocked the way the game is. Unfortunately, in this mode, you cannot. You can usually hold down the middle mouse button to zoom in. So I'm not familiar with this truck, so I'm not sure where the fuel gauge is. I think it's that one right there, looks like. So I can see that from a glance, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Be able to see my two main gauges, which is my steering, my speed and stuff. So hit escape. Now, yes, we have a lot of blind spots on trucks, folks. So many trucks have large blind spots, so they're equipped with exterior mirrors. Tell the driver to see as much as possible. Proper adjustment of these mirrors will allow you to have the best possible visibility of your truck. So open the mirror adjustment. All right. So the main mirrors cover the space along the side of the truck. To better adjust position mirrors, use the cars on both sides of the vehicle for reference. All right. This is, in my opinion, just pretty basic. Um, Number one, I'm gonna want this to about there. I like to see just a little bit of either my truck or my trailer, depending upon what I'm driving. So I'm thinking about right there. I can see the wheel right here, and I usually go. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it. It's in order. So right side. We're gonna do kind of the same thing here, and I usually like it about right there. Then it wants me to go to convex, which makes sense. Now convex, what I usually do on it when hold on. Convex provide a wider field of view, allowing you by seeing what's more going on beside you. All right. So convex is pretty common. Number one, I always have my convex as far out as I can get it, like that. And sometimes I will tilt it down like so. It helps you see more what's coming right up beside you here to a point. Obviously, you see the line there. It's not going to, oh, it's just will let me. So it shows that line right there. So that's how far that car can get up beside me before I lose him in that mirror. All right, now let's do the right convex. Same story there. I usually kick it as far out as I get it, and then usually go down as far as I can get it and leave it there. Now, I don't normally run hood mirrors, but if you can run hood mirrors, okay, so let's see what they got to say here. Hood mirrors provide y'all probably do a better job of reading this than me reading it out loud, but let's see, provide a view to the blind spots on either side of the tractor cab, allowing you to see small cars and obstacles that might otherwise be hidden due to the truck's large dimensions. Yeah, that's pretty normal. So, since you don't have other mirrors to provide the view behind you, these mirrors are designed only to see what you see beside you. Sorry, I was putting something down. The hood and side mirrors arms provide you a good frame of reference as how much of your own truck should still be visible. Adjust the mirrors to the correct position as shown in the diagram. Once you're satisfied with the go to the passenger side, okay. Now, see, that's as far as you can go. prefer it down if I'm going to have it. You'll want to see as much of this area here as you can do. That's kind of what you're going for. And then you got your other hood mirror. It's as far over as it'll go. We're going to kick it all the way down. What it wants me to do is it wants me to adjust it in for some stupid reason. I'm sorry, I don't want this mirror looking at me. So you don't want to look at the sky. Oh, good Lord. It wants me to put it in this kind of a view. If I can reset that mirror. You see, this was talking about holding down the your scroll wheel button. Will do that. You can actually see what the heck you're doing here. Like I said, that's where I would prefer to have mine, but it's not letting me go past this point, so I gotta figure this out. I should have moved the mirror in and back out. Okay. I don't know if I passed the hood mirror thing, but we'll go with that. So make one more look around, ensure that you're satisfied with your cab view and the mirrors you provide a good look. If something doesn't suit you, you can just adjust the mirrors again in the vehicle adjustment configuration. Press enter or use choice A to end the first scenario. All right, so right now we're using my mouse. I'm also playing with controller, so if I do that with my controller, that's my right stick on an Xbox controller. And actually I have my setup to where it centers when I push it in. So like I said, this is how I normally run stuff. As you can see the right mirror up there on the right. So we're just going to go ahead and complete this. What did it give me? Well, the success, I did everything it wanted me to do, even following instructions. Holy crap. I can restart that. Obviously, I'm not going to. We can also move on to the next scenario. Actually, I'm just going to exit. And you know what? We've only been recording about 13 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do this here as well. This is probably a pretty easy one, but we'll see how it goes. All right, the scenario, we'll go through the different cameras that are available to use. I'll never use half of them, but we'll go with it. 7 cameras to choose from in total. We'll go through a few of them for now and explain their intended functions. Various cameras and their different camera angles can help you in maneuvering tight places. That I can agree with. I can tell you some stories about how I've done stuff. The mirrors, let's just go and read those. The looking where you are going is the core foundation of safe professional drivers. If your current seat position does not suit you, you can change it. Oh, we can change that. Okay. View into the rear. When reversing, your mirrors don't always offer a clear view. It may be necessary to look out the window behind you to get a better view. Turn your camera all the way to the driver's side to look out the window towards the rear of the trailer. You have to be inside the vehicle. All right. That's a pretty easy one. So I had to grab my controller. So normally, like I said, I use my controller. So what it's wanting me to do is look all the way out yonder, like that. Use this view to check on the trailer during reverse maneuvers of the trailer. It's always best to reverse to the driver's side so that you can utilize this view. When reversing to the passenger side, you have much more limited view of what's going on behind you. Very true. So actually, when I was learning how to drive a truck, and it was actually in the commercial motor vehicle manual when I was doing it in Texas, to avoid what they call blindside backing, which is on your passenger side or offside. If you're in a country that's more like, say, Europe, or you're driving on the right-hand side of the truck, obviously you don't want to back to the left. You want to back to the side of the truck that you are sitting on, if possible. If it's possible to make a U-turn before hitting the parking spot, you do that. Now this challenge system is going to be a little different on that. Let's go and look at the passenger side. And, yep. Because so if you're backing up on the right, you can't see. Some trucks in the sleeper will have a window back there, but obviously the cabinets block that view. So this is why usually not recommended to reverse toward the passenger side. You can see that visibility is quite limited. Luckily, there are 7 exterior cameras available to you as well. The button 9 can be used to switch to the next camera in sequence. After cycling with all the 7 cameras, you'll return to the beginning of the cycle. So now it wants us to cycle our cameras. So this is our outside view. The external camera provides the best perspective on what's going to happen around you, around the truck. And sometimes I go in this view to hang out with friends and, look at each other's trucks. I don't really use outside view for backing up too often, only when I'm in a really weird area. So once we look around, facing camera, press 9 again. You can switch to the next camera. Facing camera, that looks more like a top-down camera. Top-down provides excellent view of the oversized, simply parking and driving in tight spaces. Now this view, so if I go in numerical order on the top of the keyboard, 1 was our interior, 2 was the one we were just in. This is 3, which is a top-down camera. I don't know why it said the other one, but this is top-down. I used to use this when I first started get into driving because a lot of places in California and stuff were really tight for parking and getting in and out. And I would use this just to make sure I wasn't going to ram my bumper and stuff into things. So now let's just hit 9 again. And then this is our roof camera, provides a clear view. Now this is actually kind of a neat view when you're, especially doing videos, trying to show off areas. I actually forget about this view, but it's a good view. That way everybody can see the sky and the surroundings, stuff like that, a lot better than from the inside, but I'm bad about not doing that. Let's see, the lean out camera. So the review is a shortcut to the view you obtained earlier by turning the interior camera. As we discussed, it's helpful when reversing or parking. In the game, you have more cameras that you can try by repeatedly pressing 9. Press 1 or my joy button to go back to the inside. So this is the bumper cam. This is your, I call it the cinematic cam. Well, one of the cinematic cams. That's not my favorite view. And then now we're back inside. We recommend you stay with the interior camera view as you go through each of the scenarios. Okay, good. Press enter or joy to confirm and end the scenario. Now, as information, you can use the zoom camera interior camera feature for a better view of your surroundings. It's especially helpful when looking through the mirrors. Check the options screen and keys and buttons to see which is correspond. Okay, so that one there is what we was talking about with the mouse a minute ago. For example, this mirror over here can be maybe hard to see sometimes. You can hold down your scroll wheel button and zoom in on it. The same thing with that mirror there. Looks like it moved my mirror back. And then very helpful if you're trying to look at your gauges, stuff like that. Like your fuel gauge is kind of important. A lot of your other gauges, depending upon how realistic you play, there's your air gauges right there. So, yeah. Anyhow, so we just press enter, get out of that. Okay, cool. Let me see here. We're about almost 20 minutes into recording now. The next scenario is going to be the first drive. So let's do that, and then we'll come back with the next video on reversing and the lights and wipers. So first drive. So for your first few drives, we'll be using the tractor unit only, a truck referred to as a tractor when it doesn't have any cargo body of its own, and instead relies on the use of a trailer to transport goods and materials. This term is also commonly called bobtail. When you're what they call bobtailing, basically you're deadheading to your next load when you ain't got a trailer on here. You're either going to get your load or go get repairs, get fuel, something like that. So anyhow, tractors are commonly used because they are allowed for greater versatility. They can drop an empty trailer and pick up a load of them without having to wait or even switch to a different kind of trailer entirely. Yep, that's a thing. I used to do dropping hooks when I worked for companies. Your first drive, your task will be to drive forward and stop after the dashed line. Start the engine, follow the instructions to get the truck ready to move. Once prepared, drive straight ahead. All right. And we're basically going to do this. We're going to just drive forward, drive past the dash lines, stop, shut down engine, and secure the truck. That would probably put the parking brake on. Okay. Next to training, you'll move the truck for the first time. Of course, with the engine running, it won't work. So you'll need to turn on the ignition. You mean I ain't got nobody pushing this thing? Oh, okay, let's see. In a career, by default, the engine is turned on together with electricity automatically. For career, you can adjust behavior in the options screen. For the auto, okay, so I don't have automatic start and all that stuff. Typically, when I hit E, it turns on my ignition, and that's all it turns on. It doesn't even start the engine. And then pressing E one more time starts the engine. Now we got that going. Now the engine started, it's crucial to check your surroundings before you start any movement. Look around the truck and at your driver's and passenger side mirrors to confirm the area surrounding the truck is clear. All right, so did all that. May seem obvious, but you should know how to stop before starting any movement. Activate the brake by using down, S, or my left trigger. Okay, I know where that's at. That is typically that. That's my service brakes. Next, you'll learn how to change your direction of travel. With the simplified automatic transmission, there's no need to shift gears. Everything's done automatically for you. So yes, I am currently using automatic mode because I'm on a controller. Do plan on hooking up my wheel and pedals here soon once I get a stand, and I have a shifter for it, and I hope to start doing the shifting. But we'll just kind of see how that goes. I may shift some and not other times. We'll see. But anyhow, that's my gas pedal. Let's see. Release the parking brake. To start moving, you must first release the parking brake. Use space. That's mine. Set up a space. The rear parking brake is initially disabled. Yeah, most time my parking brake, I never set it in game when I'm playing because I play more arcade as you guys have seen. So release parking brakes. Now trigger ready to move forward. Start moving across the dashed lines. All right, so I'm gonna center my camera again, and then I know where the dashed lines are. I see it now. Just gonna move past that, and then use the brake to stop. Now secure the truck. The parking brake ensures the truck won't move unintentionally after you park. Yeah, it won't roll away. Automatic transmission, there's no need to shift gears. Everything is done automatically for you. All right, so yeah, normally but you would also want to obviously be in neutral. Letting the clutch out while you're in gear is not a very good idea. So turning off the engine. Now you know how to get the truck moving, how to bring it to a stop safely. Turn it off. Like so. Okay. That's relatively simple. You know what? I think we're just going to go ahead and finish up these other two while we're in this session. We'll just get all that done in one video and be done with it. And we'll come back later. So we're going to do some reversing now. So, I mean, it's kind of cool how they're doing this. I'll give more insight on that later. Let's continue. Let's see. For this drive, we'll be reversing into a straight line. You'll have to reverse past the dash line and then stop there. Okay. Show me how it's done. Reversing a truck is essential to look around, constantly observe the mirrors, and ensure that the space around you and behind you is clear. Okay. Start the engine, shift to reverse, and begin moving. Like so. Reverse past the dash line, stop, shut down the engine, and secure the truck. Okay. Okay, prepare the truck as you learned in the previous scenario. When you're ready, get going. All right, pick her up. Check my mirrors. Let's see, where's that one? That mirror looks good. That mirror looks good. In theory, that doesn't do much for me, but in theory, you're just supposed to keep looking at your mirrors, and that's why I have that other mirror up there. Brake on. And that should be done. Remember to always be aware of your surroundings in reverse, especially in the busy areas of traffic. Motor. And that's done. And then we're going to learn about our lights and wipers. Wow. Yeah, we're going to learn about our wipes. How about that? Oh, man. Game talk tonight. Or morning, like 4 a.m. So in this scenario, we'll explore some of the truck-based controls to help maintain a clear view of surroundings and make your driving predictable for other road users. You'll learn to use windscreen wipers, we call those windshield wipers in the States, to maintain good visibility in bad weather, as well as to control the controls for lights and turn signals. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's go. Oh, it's raining. This makes my videos bad. No, I'm kidding. So in this scenario, we'll go over some of the truck's features that will ensure that you can see and be seen at the same time. How do I want to be seen? Nobody pays attention to a truck driver, do they? We'll activate the various lighting systems and we'll learn when it is necessary to use each of them. All right. Operate the left and right turn signals. That's the flashers. And finally, we're going to adjust the wipers to ensure the function effectively in varying levels of precipitation. Okay. So let's go over how to use various types of lights, and as well as how to control the windscreen wipers. Low beam, high beam headlights ensure a good view of the road ahead. Turn signals, hazard lights are also used so that other road users can anticipate your maneuvers. Wipers are used to keep windscreen clear of water and other debris. Start the engine, but do not release the spark brake. All right. So far, you've only been using daytime running lights. They automatically activate when your English is turned on and are used for the better visibility of the vehicle under normal driving conditions. However, now that conditions have worsened, you need to use the full lighting system. Press L, or as I have programmed, my left D-pad turns on my marker lights first. Marker lights illuminate the front, side, and rear marker lights. They're used when you are parked in poor lighting conditions so that you are visible to other drivers. Yeah, there's various reasons to use your parking lights, but yeah, like I said, some of them. That turns on my low beams. Low beam headlights illuminate the road ahead of you and also improve your visibility of the vehicle in poor lighting conditions. Yes. But people, when you're driving in the rain, most states require you to have your headlights on. Please turn your headlights on. I could send you multiple YouTube videos. Go Google them. Where we can't see you in our blind spot mirrors. That little mirror after that little round one. There's so many times with the road spray kicking up, stuff like that, we cannot see your little car. And if we need to change lanes and we don't know you're there, well, we know what's going to happen, right? So anyhow, high beams, that's that button. High beams allow you to see further down the road in poor lighting conditions. Be mindful to use them though, as they can dazzle other road users, especially those in oncoming traffic. High beams often to approach other drivers. This is very true. And when you're driving in the rain, do not turn your high beams on. Same thing in the fog, or just in the daylight for whatever reason. Because as weird as it might seem, high beams in the daylight still blind people. And it does do the same thing in rain, fog, snow, you name it. And driving in fog with your high beams on, especially at night, only makes it harder for you to see. So we'll turn those off. All right. Now let's look at the turn signals. Function of turn signals provide a visual signal to other road users about a lane change or a change in directions. Yeah, people don't know how to use them damn things either, so we'll turn our left signal on. You notice that the left signal indicator is flashing on the dashboard. Actually, I don't, because the way my wheel is adjusted. That's okay. Left turn signals are also flashed on the left side of the truck. Signals indicate a change in direction to be given in a timely manner. Other road users have the time to anticipate your maneuvers. I'm noticing that maneuver right there doesn't look like it's spelled right to me, but adjust their driving accordingly. So let's activate the right one. The dashboard, the right signal indicator is not flashing at the same time the turn signal is flashing on the right side of the truck. It's also ticking at me. Quiet. Turn it back off. Now let's move on to windscreen wipers. Wipers are used to remove rain and other debris from vehicles' windscreen. The main function is to keep the windscreen clean and clear. Wipers have several speed settings. Press yada yada, which I have set up on my controller as well, to the windscreen wipers to the intermittent setting. You can use. All right, so it's talking about the rain sensor. You can use that. You can turn that on in game. I've tried it. I'm not real wild about it, so I'm back to the old school way. But anyways, turn them on to intermittent. The setting lasts for a while, pretty activate. This is useful when precipitation is very light. As you can see, the rain is too heavy and the wipers are unable to keep up with the amount of rain that's falling on the windscreen. So we hit the switch again, it puts it on low. Now the wipers are working at a constant speed to clear the rain. And when we go to high speed, you can see the wipers working much faster now to clear the windscreen for maximum visibility. Now, I have mine set up to where I can hold down that same button and it flips it back one click each time until they're finally off. Turn off the lights and shut down the truck. There's the lights and ignition. Congrats. I've completed Chapter 1, Basic Controls and Movement. I've learned how to prepare the truck before driving, forward and reverse driving, and how to use lights and wipers. Alright, cool. Look at my results. Looks like I completed the whole thing. Well, we're not going to go to the next scenario. We're completed here. We're going to color right there on that, guys. And then it looks like we're going to be moving on to Chapter 2 the next time I do this. Not tonight, but maybe here soon. I will do Chapter 2, and we'll check that out. So, yeah, this worked out. It was like about a 30-minute video. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a good one.